Hi folks, I'm City Manager Michael Spurgeon. I hope your 2019 is off to a great start. Thanks for joining us for the February edition of Broken Arrow in Motion. Here's what's moving in our great city. Back in the fall of 2017, the city conducted a citizen satisfaction survey which almost 2,600 households responded to. Broken Arrow said the top two priorities are public infrastructure and public safety. I'm pleased to report on a few of our street projects that our citizens said were important. First up, the new section of 37th Street, also known as 209th. Work on the new roadway between Omaha and Albany has been continuing for the last several months. The contractors are currently working on a box culvert, which they expect to be complete by April, weather permitting. As the schedule currently stands, we expect the road to be open for traffic in late summer. We'll keep you advised on construction as we go forward. Work on widening Washington Street will begin soon. In 2014, voters approved widening the mile between Garnett and Olive. Once it's completed, the project will help alleviate congestion entering and leaving our community. We'll keep you posted on the construction as it progresses. Here's a quick update on the Wolf Creek Subdivision Road and Sidewalk rehabilitation work. The project is expected to wrap up in the late spring or early summer. The contractor has had to delay some work due to wet weather. We're now working weekends to make up for lost time. We'll keep you updated as the work continues to progress. In other transportation news, we recently received a grant from Pathways to Health to install bikeway signs throughout our community. These signs designate safe routes that cyclists can use around town. The majority of the signs will go into the Rose District. We've already put some up along Broadway between Elm and Main. In Parks and Recreation activities, the new sign for the Indian Springs Sports Complex is complete. Crews recently completed work on the digital sign. This marker will draw more visibility to our wonderful sports complex on the south side of town. In solid waste operations, our two pilot programs for curbside recycling started at the end of January. Each pilot consists of 500 homes. In the spring of 2016, a citizen survey was conducted, and a majority of those that responded were supportive of exploring curbside recycling. Next month, we will begin to share the data we're receiving from the customers in the pilot programs. The pilots will run for about 5 months, and the final results will be shared with the public and the City Council later this year. In utility operations, I'd like to mention the Lynn Lane wastewater treatment plant upgrades. This project is on schedule and expected to be completed in the early summer. The majority of the concrete structures and underground work is now complete. The upgrades to this plant will make wastewater processing much more efficient and streamlined. In community announcements, one of our tourism videos has won an award. Our Parks Department submitted one of our tourism videos at the Southwest Parks and Recreation Training Institute Regional Conference for Best Professional Public Service Announcement. I'd like to thank Tourism Director Lori Hill for her leadership and vision on this video initiative. Also, a final public meeting for the Comprehensive Plan and our Parks Master Plan update is scheduled for March 6th at 6 p.m. This will be the community's final opportunity to provide feedback on the draft before we move forward in the process. This is very important for the future development of our community. Once the final draft of the document is approved, it will go before the Planning Commission and ultimately the City Council for a final approval. For more information, visit brokenarrownext.com. We have several announcements in the Employee Spotlight section in this edition. First, I want to congratulate Jerry Hanwinkle, who has been promoted to the position of Utility Systems Manager. Jerry has worked for the city for approximately 28 years, most recently as the Water Distribution Supervisor. Congratulations, Jerry. Also, congratulations to Chris Wire and Joe Williford, both in Building Inspections Division of our Development Services Department. Chris recently passed his Commercial Mechanical Inspection Certification test. Chris now has 6 licenses related to building inspections. Meanwhile, Joe has been selected by the Oklahoma Uniform Building Code Commission to serve on one of their committees. Congratulations, Chris, on obtaining your licenses, and we're glad, Joe, that you'll be representing our city. Finally, congratulations to Stormwater Manager Jeff Bigby, who's been invited to speak at a flood policy forum in Washington, D.C. Jeff has been with the city for 18 years. He also served as the Interim Director of Engineering and Construction shortly after I came on board back in 2015. We're proud to have Jeff on the leadership team. Congratulations on such a prestigious honor, Jeff, to be able to go to represent the city in Washington, D.C. As you can see, there's a lot going on, folks. That's it for this edition of Broken Arrow in Motion. We look forward to coming back to you next month. Until then, take care and I hope to see you around town.